Daniel Robert Larson, known to the world as Danderson, Mr. President, or the infamous Zoomer Chris Chan, was born on November 15th, 1998. At just 26 years old, he has carved out a notorious niche on the internet as a mentally ill personality and convicted criminal. Claiming to be a singer, songwriter, fashion model, and even the President of the United States, Daniel's delusions reach new heights with his conviction that he is engaged to a former America's Got Talent star, Grace Vanderwaal. Daniel's journey into the social media spotlight began in 2020 when he amassed a sizable following due to his eccentric content, strikingly unconventional appearance, and absolutely erratic behavior. As his fame grew, so did the fascination of internet trolls who saw him in a blank canvas for their misguided artistry. They sought to exploit Daniel's gullibility, which, much like those who had famously trolled controversial figures before him, many masqueraded as record label managers, luring Daniel into believing he was on the brink of stardom. Unfortunately though, Daniel repeatedly fell for their ruses, unwittingly fueling his delusions of grandeur. With every new quote-unquote manager he encountered, he found himself performing increasingly degrading acts and spouting embarrassing lines on camera. The relentless trolling only deepened his paranoia, sending him spiraling further into a world of confusion and despair. In his mind, Daniel is a global phenomenon, a celebrity known by absolutely billions across the globe. Yet, most of his adult life has been spent homeless, disconnected from the reality that most celebrities navigate. Despite this, he has produced 3 songs to date: Roaring Thunder, Something More, and Merry-Go-Round. Ironically, it's not his music that draws attention, but the chaotic meltdowns displayed in his TikTok videos, which seem to ignite a morbid curiosity among viewers. Several mental disorders, including confirmed autism, bipolar disorder, PTSD, and schizophrenia, profoundly shaped Daniel's life. These challenges complicated his day-to-day existence growing up, compounded by his refusal to seek help. While he received some treatment in early life, those interventions ceased as he transitioned into adulthood. Over the years, Daniel's antics have led to numerous TikTok and YouTube accounts, most of which have been banned for various astonishing reasons. One of the most infamous episodes involved him being prohibited from TikTok for, exposing himself during a live stream. He pulled a good old Cyrax, if you will. Other offenses include interactions filled with violence, racial slurs, and outrageous comments directed at others, including his elderly mentor, Bob. From 2021 onward, Daniel's life descended into chaos. He drifted from shelter to shelter, battled scabies, relentlessly posted about Grace Vanderwaal, and made headlines for threats as well as violent outbursts. His struggles even landed him institutionalized for some time, culminating in repeated arrests. The internet has never seen a figure quite like Daniel Larson. His story, echoing the sentiment of same shit, different day, is a disturbing tapestry woven with severe mental illness, reckless gullibility, and a desperate desire for validation. Despite the myriad of attempts by well-meaning individuals to intervene, he shows no signs of halting his self-destructive behavior. Ultimately, Daniel's tale serves as a cautionary narrative: the perils of unchecked mental illness, the fragility of human dignity, and the darker side of online fame. His life remains a stark reminder of how to not navigate the web and the real world. Now, let's rewind to where it all began. This is aptly known as the Classic Era. This phase kicked off in March of 2020 with the birth of Daniel's now infamous TikTok account, @DanielLarson'sFans. This is not his first account, far from it, but this seems to be the first one that gained real traction.
I just woke up.
I am being told to get off the lives for my own safety. I've always wondered how you joined the Illuminati. Nothing is better than the chocolate-covered hot dog.
Damn! This Ukraine war is getting bigger than Lizzo. Please come inside me.
So Daniel's first real brush with controversy would be a weird encounter with the George Floyd stuff. 2020 was a tumultuous year for everyone in the United States and everyone in the world at large, but there was a lot of wild political and absolutely insane things going on in the news, pop culture, social media, and just about everywhere you looked. Daniel, for whatever reason, would be convinced by his supporters, as they are called here, to seemingly take a stand for the BLM plight and for George Floyd. So in honor of him, he does this.
This is for George Floyd. Rest in peace. Black Lives Matter. This is a code George Floyd. This is a code George Floyd. We're in a financial crisis. The world is ending. Our world is run by nothing but jackasses. Oh my god. I need donations. This is a
Keep my wife's name.
So that second clip is unrelated. I just saw that he mentioned George Floyd again and was like, I got a meme opportunity. As you can see, he did jumping jacks in the memory of George Floyd and in honor of BLM, and for whatever reason, he got a ton of backlash. More than likely, this is probably due to him sharing his opinions, saying, we are all equal and stuff like that. And at that time, I'm sure you can assume that's the last thing people wanted to hear. And honestly, it was probably just not a good idea to get involved at all.
Okay. I know this is gonna sound very, very crazy, and I mean the Pinterest, actually, before I say that, the fans, the Reddit is gonna go nuts over this, and I'm probably going to get reported and all of this crazy stuff, but before we even talk about reporting me to the police or FBI or anything like that, I need to explain something real quick about this. Yes, the Pinterest was mine, and yes, I actually followed all of those pictures and stuff of children.
So for some context, on November 17th of 2020, Daniel's Pinterest account was found and subsequently leaked for everyone to see. According to a now banned TikTok user by the name of Diaper911, the account was found through an email associated with Daniel's Twitter and or X account. The account had albums filled with several images of children, most notably of Grace Vanderval, who was 16 years old at the time of it being found. However, it should be noted that the pictures saved on his Pinterest account were photos of her from when she was significantly younger, and on top of that, the Pinterest account contained maps of the United States which listed the age of consent for each state, and photos of various underage celebrity crushes of his.
In the past, I used to use pictures of girls and masturbate to them.
Yes, I created the Pinterest. But, like I said, there was no child pornography. Yes, it was pictures of kids, though. Underage people. Yes, that part was true. And yes, I did follow all of those strange things. Okay? I did that at the time for easy fame.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because I needed to get everything heard with the abuse that was going on in the disability system. And the fact that, the providers were actually hitting me and shit like that. I was actually being, hit.
As is the opposite with a lot of the lolcows that we cover on this channel, Daniel seems to be an open book and is pretty much willing to lay it all out there and doesn't seem to care. He puts no caution to the wind, if you will. He's out there, balls to the wall. Now, a lot of negative would come from this whole situation and his admission. At the time, Daniel Larson would put out his first and pretty much only song. He has 2 or 3 other ones, I do believe, believe, but this would be the one that most people would know. It would get about 16,000 views on YouTube. Unfortunately, after all of this would come to light, PDF accusations, racism allegations, and absolute mental insanity, he would be dropped from Roach Records. A company with the name of Roach Records might not be the best place to be anyway, so I don't know how much of a loss it truly was for either party.
Hello, this is Daniel Larson. There is now video evidence claiming from Roach Records that they were in charge of the Pinterest. Hello everyone, sorry for the Pinterest account. It is mine. It's been a couple years since I even had that account. I no longer have access to it. Unfortunately, the media kind of blew it up out of proportion, and I decided it's best if I tell the truth. The truth matters.
After this, internet investigators would go to work and uncover that even after the Pinterest thing was deleted, he would actually still be going around collecting pictures of underage girls, again, especially of Grace. This obsession that he had with Grace was definitely unhealthy and becoming more unhinged day by day, but we'll touch more on that either later this episode or in another episode. From the outside looking in, it's definitely an interesting look at depravity to see somebody try to make excuses or to try to distance themselves from PDF allegations that they have already acknowledged and admitted to. Now, I'm sure there are actual cases that are somewhat common, if not on a day-to-day basis, of medical care physicians giving less than adequate service and probably borderline abusing, if not abusing, their patients. To use that potential very traumatic situation as a scapegoat to get out of these PDF allegations is very sad and very becoming of who you are as a person. So not only does it show that Daniel Larson as a person knows that these PDF and other allegations he is dealing with already are not a good look and make you look very bad and have consequences, shows that he is aware of the situation and he's not as oblivious as he might try to make you think because he has a couple of illnesses, which, you know, of course we have to show some lenience for some of those mental inabilities he has, but at the end of the day, we still have to hold everybody accountable for their actions.
Daniel Larson, you are pretty famous on TikTok. Would you agree in saying that?
Yes, I would agree.
Would you say that it is in a good way or a bad way?
I feel like it's in a good way. I definitely don't like what people are saying in the comments. I feel like what people are saying in the comments is mostly hate. You know, I kind of blew up kind of unexpectedly, and I think a lot of it is due to COVID. And so I don't really know like what led to all the accusations. But you know, what's mattering is that we're trying to move on. We're trying to get past that.
It's definitely comedic to see Daniel pretending like he has no idea where any of those allegations came up and why people started questioning him and hating on him. Now, while I don't quite understand the full extent of how he got famous either, 2020 and COVID at large was definitely a time where everybody was online more than ever and a lot of people made a come up from it. And unfortunately, it seems like one of those depraved people that got a come up from it was Daniel Larson. This interview itself is very interesting because it's the last thing Daniel would do before what is known as the First Dark Age, which is a period of time where Daniel Larson would disappear from the internet and not put out any content for some time.
You know, you're not afraid to, you know, duet the video of a child wearing some sort of swimsuit.
You know, I feel like duetting any video is like fine, you know, like, you know, they're putting out the content and I want to duet it. Of course I could do that. I don't know where it comes down to what the media is saying about me and about, you know, the fact that I'm like a so-called pedophile. I'm not. I just, you know, support everybody on the internet. I support everyone.
Ah, the classic, I'm not a PDF, I just support everybody on the internet excuse. And honestly, it is the tried, true, and absolutely tired as hell excuse that people time and time again have used. There's not really a singular way Daniel Larson could really explain his way out of this box that he made himself here. To be honest, the package is sealed and shipped, and there's just nothing to do. It is what it is. You are unfortunately a PDF, self-admittedly. You are into young little girls, and it's absolutely deranged and gross. Of course, I'm not the judge, the executioner, or even the jury. I'm just good old Swampy D here in these streets trying to document this depravity for you. So let's continue to see what crazy questions Daniel answers next.
What do you have to say about the owning child pornography and whatnot, etc.?
You know, that is not really true. I do not own any of Child B. That's not true at all. The media kind of made that out kind of with what they wanted it to be, and it kind of unfortunately went viral, and it's a complete false accusation.
In the past, I used to use pictures of girls and masturbate to them.
I don't like that the media did that to me. I don't like that they're accusing me of it. I'm gonna be honest, just because this went viral.
Fuck
I
it.
did have a Pinterest account.
Oh.
You could record it.
I'm on TikTok live right now, diaper.
That's it. That's what
Oh
this whole
my
thing is
god.
about.
Daniel Larson is already giving me Cyrax vibes in the sense that he will rant, rave, and say all kinds of crazy things online, confessing to things that he should never confess even on his deathbed, and then will turn around and be like, what do you mean, fam? I ain't did that. That ain't what happened. The media is just distorting it, twisting it around. But yet he self-admits the exact same things he's denying. So which is it, Daniel? Pick a side and die on that side, brother. Nobody likes a two-timer.
Daniel,
Complete honesty.
Daniel, can you do
Yes.
Daniel, tell him about what you had on your phone. Tell him about that, cause I'll tell him if you don't tell him, Daniel.
Please do.
What I had was a couple.
You muted yourself.
Unfortunately, I'm in public, so I can't really, say very much.
You muted yourself when you
I will
muted.
say it the best of my ability. So I had, because I was doing fashion modeling for a long time, I had a bunch of pictures of fashion models on my phone.
Daniel, can you specify the age?
It was pretty much all ages.
What?
Roach, can you verify that?
Daniel, what Daniel's saying is partially true. Daniel can keep going. He can keep going. Well, Daniel, do you want me to go ahead and explain? I won't explain too much.
Roach, please.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead and explain.
Okay, so Daniel did tell me he did have pictures of children, but he said that they were completely clothed, and he didn't do anything with them. He had them on there.
And masturbate to them.
And can you back that up? Did you see the pictures?
Oh, I didn't see the pictures, but I'm just going off what Daniel told me.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Do we know if he's being honest about this?
Daniel can go ahead and talk.
So
Is there a reason why you had those pictures to begin with? Is there a specific reason? Because, any regular person is not going to have a bunch of pictures for no reason because they just want to look at pictures. No one does that.
it was I actually a lot of the pictures that were on my phone were actually through my talent agency that I was with. There was a lot of stuff through my talent agency that I was with when I was younger.
Personally, I'm not buying the talent agency excuse, and it seems like we've already gotten multiple excuses or reasons as to why these pictures existed in the first place, even though pretty much from the jump, just like our good boy Cyrax, he admits to what he did right out the gate, but for some reason after he realizes that was a dumb idea, he tries to pivot and, make excuses to make what he did okay. But it doesn't matter if it's nudie pictures or just pictures of children in regular clothing. It's weird, it's so strange, and to admit that you have actually openly smacked your little goblin stick to it makes you no better than any other PDF we've covered. and it's absolutely sad. But we're gonna keep going here and see what else they can extract from this little goblin.
I saw a few Twitch live streams yesterday. Old videos, of course. You know, you were in them. They were videos of Zoom calls, and you know, some of these people had good intentions because they would give you the advice to take a break. Did you take that break?
I did. Unfortunately, social media is my only job right now due to COVID. It's the only way I get paid. And so I have to still pay my housing bills. I have to pay rent. So fortunately, I was only able to take a 1-week break because I have to get paid to pay my bills.
May I ask how you get paid?
I get paid through social media for the Creators Fund.
Partially true.
That could be
Partially.
true, but yes. But how much does TikTok pay you per 1,000 views? Like $4, right? Is that what it is?
I've this month made $200 this month off of TikTok, and my YouTube right now is sitting at $300.
That covers all of your expenses a month.
I don't feel like you can live off of $200 a month. I feel like that's like third.
But
world country.
I also get SSI.
I think homeless people make more than $200 a month.
What is SSI?
But I also get SSI, which is $1,000 a month.
This podcast is incredibly reminiscent of one of those unhinged Discord chats you have with your friends when you're just messing around, trolling each other, gaming, and all that stuff. And the quality, it's definitely on par with that as well. But with that aside, they did get a lot of interesting information from Daniel on this, and he has a lot of interesting copium explanations as to why he does what he does and why it doesn't make him a PDF or a weirdo. There is some abysmal math going on though here. He said he gets 300 from YouTube, 200 from TikTok, 1,000 from Social Security. When he mentions that he gets 200 from TikTok and 300 from YouTube, they're saying, how do you live off 200 a month? Well, he just told you he gets 500 a month just from those two things, which is still pretty low considering how much expenses have gone up over the years. At the time, I'm sure he was making it work, and some people do have those abilities to do that, especially if they have Social Security and disability help. Not just monetarily, but usually there's also housing availability there as well. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to act like I know. I just wanted to point out some of the math was kind of bad there. It was kind of making my brain hurt. I was like, brother, no, come on. You can't be as bad as the freaking Lolcow of math. Let's go. Anyways, this is where we're going to end our first look into Daniel Larson. This has been an interesting ride so far. After this, he would go missing for a little while. As I mentioned before, this is known as the First Dark Age, where we would get our first deprivation of Daniel Larson content, but not for terribly long. Next episode, we'll continue this chronological downward spiral into Daniel Larson's life. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting the Swamp the way you do. Be sure to slap that like button. The more likes this gets, the more YouTube promotes it, and more people definitely need to know about Daniel Larson's misadventures, if you will. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. We're making our way up to 20,000. Let's see if we can't hit that before the end of the year. Unlikely, but would be really cool. Be sure to comment down below letting me know your thoughts about Daniel Larson, any suggestions for other locales to cover, and if there's something about the Daniel Larson story you think I need to cover, definitely let me know. I'll see you guys soon.